There's something weird going on in America, and that is no surprise to you because it is America. This person, right here, Lionel Messi, right? You know him, we all love him, unless if you're from Saudi Arabia, probably not. Lionel Messi and Inter Miami. Now, in the last couple of months, there's been weird things going on in America which I wasn't even aware of. And it all came up to me just a couple of weeks ago when I saw this post. 10 days ago, the Houston Dynamo in MLS did a post saying this just complete mess. Dynamo will host Inter Miami, blah blah blah. The shared player status reports for the match did not include Lionel Messi. Unfortunately, we have no control over who plays for our opponent. Obviously. Incredible atmosphere and celebration of soccer for the city of Houston, or something like that. To show our appreciation, fans who attend tomorrow's night's match can claim a complimentary ticket to any future Dynamo match this season. Now, look, I get it. On the surface, it looks completely stupid because you're thinking, okay, why are they apologising? It's not even playing their own team. They have no control on it. Why are they giving fans money back in return or giving them gifts? Well, there's the reason why. Lionel Messi is a big name, therefore every single person in that area that he goes to for Inter Miami, every single stadium will be full. And you know what that means? They're going to make some big money. Therefore, Houston Dynamo and many others charge over the top, I mean, stupid levels of money for a ticket for these games. After all, it's America, land of the free. So comment down below your thoughts on the MLS and Lionel Messi and the future of the league, really, because it's becoming a bit of a joke. Like, comment, and Vizeh designs. For the best football prints, of course, we got tons of Messi items. You can see it all around me. So use code Messi for 15% off our items, and let's go. As of the time of that posting, the cheapest tickets for that game found was around $200, far higher than any other game that Dynamo would ever host this season. So the Houston Dynamo Stadium is 20,000 people attendance. Therefore, if you just do some quick little maths here, let's just say 20,000 times by 200. Therefore, that is $4 million. And that is just the cheapest. People, of course, pay for packages and VIP and hospitality and better seats and blah, 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 whatever people do. Capitalism. I love it. After the news that Messi was not even going to be there, the $200 tickets that people paid ended up being $20 online. But the reality is, let's be honest here, Messi's 37, America is a big country, traveling to all these places and playing all these games. He's going to get injured really badly very fast, especially considering the type of way that Lionel Messi plays. The reason why he didn't play wasn't because he hates Houston or the state by any means. It's because, well, he can't play every single game. It's just protecting him. Also, since when was Javier Mascherano the coach of Inter Miami? Since when did that happen? Christ, I'm not even aware of that. But then I realized that this is not the first time this has happened, and like, this is what I find so funny about this. I found a case here which I was never aware of, but I'm going to showcase this because it's actually pissed me off, and I'm not even involved. The Vancouver Whitecaps. Now, I typically like Vancouver. I got family there. I'm not Canadian, but I like Canada for that reason because I got family there. Okay, get mad at me, boys. The Vancouver Whitecaps last year sold packages, many ticket packages based on the Inter Miami game. That involves LAFC, LA Galaxy, and Inter Miami. They sold out and brought in record numbers of people for those games. This was genius, as in 2023, they had 9,000 people typically for their season tickets. And then in 2024, they had 16,000. And now this year, it's 12,000. The issue is Inter Miami for that game against Vancouver Whitecaps, which, by the way, Miami is but probably as far as you can get actually to Vancouver. It's probably the furthest travel that you can possibly get in the entire MLS calendar. And for that game, Lionel Messi, but not just him, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, were not coming to that game. Now, this isn't just, kind of funny for the idea of all these people looking forward for these three people and then they don't show up, which is kind of annoying but kind of funny at the same time. But also, they filed lawsuits. And the worst part is, I can't even say, well, it's America, because it's not America, it's Canada. People brought forward lawsuits saying that they were falsely advertised while thousands asked for refunds. Some guy called Holchun filed a claim in a civil court that is $404 that he paid for 2 tickets, claiming this is a classic bait and switch, citing ample advertising promising the trio. Are people f***ing stupid? They were arrested. because the combined age of those 3 players is over 100. That's why they didn't travel to the furthest match in the entire calendar. Now, yes, these tickets were sold 10 times more than any other game in the entire calendar, but at the same time, I don't get how that's Vancouver Whitecaps' fault. Imagine if you were the people running Vancouver Whitecaps, how annoyed would you be? The anger that this caused was insane. The club didn't give out refunds, which they shouldn't because it's not their fault, but it did give away complimentary tickets and even tickets to a Canadian Premier League game in Vancouver FC. So, hey, happy ending, right? And this happens even again in 2023. Chicago Fire, again, offered way too much money for the idea of seeing Messi, and of course there's no guarantee of him even being there. 61,000 fans in the stadium came to see Messi and he didn't show up. Now again, people may actually complain at Messi for this, saying this is Messi's fault and he should show up, but at the same time, do you know how much football this guy plays at his age? It's even a miracle that he even can move. Like, when's the last time that you remember Messi really being injured for a long time? Like, across his entire career. I don't think he's ever been injured for longer than 2-3 months. Like, genuinely, I think he got something back in 2023, maybe? And I saw this article 2 days ago on Goal.com. Apparently, the popularity with Messi in the MLS is at an all-time low. That there's incredible discontent over his lack of availability. By the way, to the record, there's like 3 games here that he did not show up to due to resting. By the way, each game they won, they don't even need Messi to win. According to BetVictor in Canada, they did some report that 24% of posts about Messi on social media in America has been negative, with 12% just being positive, which is the lowest it's ever been since he's been there. So a quarter of every tweet from America or Canada about him has been negative. And I love the idea by some spokesman over for BetVictor saying at the end, Messi will need to put in some dazzling performances to win them over. Like, after you see him play, he basically gets a goal and assist in almost every game that he plays, pretty much. Like, what more do you really want him to do? Again, I think I need to reiterate this here, just to kind of drive it home. He's 37. It's Lionel Messi. Do you know how he plays? The main issue is it kind of showcases what kind of weird league MLS typically is, because MLS has this idea of a designated player system. It kind of makes it where each team has like a legend, like a name and friends. So Messi and friends, or like Charlotte, they just signed Wilfred Zaha. So when you look at the social media, it just looks like Zaha and friends. LAFC has Olivier Giroud. It just looks like Giroud and friends. You know what I mean? It looks like it's like he's like this great player for this team and the rest of them, and that kind of lies a big issue to the MLS in terms of their designated player system. In the Premier League, let's say Mohamed Salah was just given a game for some rest because he plays almost every game full 90 minutes, then no one would care because that's just a standard that you'd expect. Of course, he can't play every single game. Sometimes he needs a rest, and no one would even blink an eye. It's like, okay, he's resting him. In MLS, that's not really a factor. You are relying on a lot of money for these players, and he is the absolute main reason why anyone cares about this league. But at the same time, like, do I feel like if like Ronaldo didn't play in the Saudi league, it would be the same thing? I'm not too sure. Like, so, of course, Ronaldo does play almost every game possible for Al Nassr, but that is also because he's absolutely obsessed with getting that 1,000 goal record, which, how far is he away now? 927. So he's, 73 goals away from hitting 1,000 goals. He's going to do that. He's going to keep playing until he's 45 if he has to. He's going to stop playing in the third tier of the Moldovan division to actually end up getting that record. He doesn't care. And also with the MLS, because Messi wasn't brought in by Inter Miami, he was brought in by the MLS. So therefore, it's not just Miami that's paying for him, basically. It's also the partners, the Apple TV and all these marketing companies and sponsorships. They're paying for Messi to be there. They are basically completely reliant on him. It's kind of similar to when David Beckham was in the MLS. But when you look at the MLS in terms of like the big names, realistically, other than Messi, who have you got? Because right now in the MLS, you've got, other than Messi, you've got Olivier Giroud, who's barely even scoring, by the way. I don't think he's scored in like 9 games now. Luis Suarez, of course. Lorenzo Insigne, maybe a shout. Marco Reus, of course, joined LA Galaxy, which is an interesting one. Who else? Of course, Busquets, Jordi Alba. When one of the marquee players in one of the teams is Ashley Westwood, there is Hugo Lloris, but it's not in comparison to what the Saudi League has right now, of course. But that's because the system and the rules in the MLS is completely different to us. Saudi can just do whatever they want and just make the rules up as they go along. In MLS, it's ridiculous. I mean, have you ever tried to play a Football Manager save with the MLS? Don't bother, you'll end up crying. So the main issue is, should teams apologize for Messi not showing up if it's got nothing to do with them and no control of them? Well, they charge over the top for him, and I guess they market for him to be there. So I guess it is kind of their fault, but at the same time, it's not. I think the reality is teams are completely relying on the revenue from him being there. And that shows where the MLS is at right now, and it doesn't look good. So comment about your thoughts, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.